Okay, so you clicked on this video because you want to learn how to actually get your first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Now I know a lot of you guys have probably seen other videos out there that explain consistent uploads and good thumbnails and whatnot. Don't worry guys, we're getting into unique tips today that you may or may not have seen before or heard of before, same thing. Anyways guys, let's jump straight into it. Hey, what's up everybody, welcome back to another video. If you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button for me, thank you so very much. Now with that being said, let's jump straight into today's video. So recently we've hit 1,000 subscribers on the channel. Now if you guys have been following along since the beginning, thank you so very much. You guys are awesome. So right now I feel like I have at least somewhat of a qualification to actually explain how we actually get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. But first off, before we actually dive right into the tips, I just want to explain something that you guys should get into the mindset of. And that is basically guys, there is no real fast way of getting YouTube famous. And yes, there will be some people that get really lucky, but for the most part, most of us guys won't actually get that. And that's the truth guys, and we just gotta accept it and keep working with what we got. Now I know a lot of creators out there explain YouTube kind of like a snowball effect, where you make a snowball and then you chuck it down a hill or something and it just keeps going like that and it grows bigger and bigger. But here's the thing guys, even though that is pretty accurate, we have some minor errors in there. How I actually think about it is actually more of a fire. So on YouTube, trying to get started is trying to like start a fire. You gotta rub those sticks together real hard just to get a little bit of tinder or whatever it's called, little kindling. I have no idea, I'm not a survival expert, clearly. But either ways guys, once you actually get that ember or whatever it's called, you go ahead and actually you blow on it and whatnot, and you take a lot of time, you put in a lot of effort just to get that little bit of fire. But guys, remember, if you give up, that thing is totally gone. So what you need to do is actually continue to work at it, and soon it will become a flame, and then from there things won't be totally automatic, because you guys will still have to put out content to keep it growing. So you guys have to continue chopping wood and grabbing that wood, putting it into the fire and making it grow that way, or at least keeping it consistent so that your audience doesn't drop out. And in the fire example, so that your fire doesn't go out. But don't get me wrong guys, a few individuals out there will have a match in their pocket and boom, strike the match and there's your fire. Yeah, it doesn't really work like that for most of us. So with that being said, get that in your mind, it's going to be a longer journey. So hold on tight and yeah, let's jump straight into the few tips that we got here. So first up on our list, and it is important, that's why people keep repeating it, the basics guys. Upload consistently, good title, tags. I'm not gonna explain much, but if you guys haven't already learned that, and also a few fundamental rules about growing a YouTube from scratch, go ahead and actually click the link above right now. It'll show you guys how to actually get your first 100 subscribers on YouTube. But I'm assuming you guys already have that, and that's why you're here to see what you have to do to get to your first 1,000 subscribers. Anyways, moving along, tip number 2, reach for broader tags. Now that means guys, when you're tagging your videos, which I hope you're doing, so what you want to do is actually you're going to tag your videos with more specific tags, but not to the point where you have to only have this certain type of audience. What you want to do is get a little bit of a broader scale, and I would only start doing that around 500 subscribers. That way you guys have somewhat of a fan base to help you guys out initially. Also, if you guys are wondering how you can actually achieve this, make sure you go ahead and hit the link down in the description if you don't already have TubeBuddy installed. As you guys can see, this is the TubeBuddy extension right here, and all you have to do is actually go over to the Keyword Explorer. Now you guys can get the free version, but right now I'm on the paid version and it costs me about, I don't know, $5-6 per month. Totally worth it guys, it has helped grow the channel a lot. So would I recommend it? Definitely guys, make that investment of $5 to $6 per month. Trust me, it will be worth it and you guys will see results. But for now guys, you can always just go ahead and try it out on the free version. Okay, so let's actually do an example. Right here we have phone farming, which is a topic that is actually pretty prevalent in our channel. So if we go ahead and actually just hit search, you guys can see we're only getting a fair score for it, which isn't too great. Obviously we want to get it into the yellow at least. The green is obviously the best. So if we go ahead and actually add, you can see phone farming guide 2021 easy to follow. This is actually a very good tag for our channel, Now here's the thing, that is actually quite specific. I'm not saying you guys shouldn't use it, but try to use less tags that are crazy specific and just go with, here we'll just try foam farming guide, that is it. And if we go ahead and actually type that in, you guys can see we are still getting a very good score for that certain search term. And you guys can even see the lowest view count that is actually ranking for the search term is at 71 views, whereas our average view count is around 300, so we actually have a good chance of ranking closer to the top of the search term. That way more people can actually find our videos. So what you guys want to do is actually target more broad tags, that way you can reach a bigger audience and have a chance of actually collecting a lot of views on that video. Next tip, analyze your data. Guys, let your audience tell you what you gotta do. Because you might think that you're doing something right, but if people react in a certain way, you guys can tell exactly what to actually change. So what you guys are looking at right here is one of the videos on the channel, and if you go over to your overview, you guys will see something like this. Now this is a pretty new feature to YouTube and a very helpful one. In fact, you guys should be using it if you haven't already. So right here, what you guys are going to see is something a bit different. It's not going to be the same for everybody, but right here you guys can see what you're aiming for is actually a continuous segment. And if you guys don't already know what that means, basically you keep the audience watching very consistently throughout that time period and have a very low rate of people actually leaving that video. So how do we actually analyze this? Well, you guys can actually take away a bunch of things. So for example, right here you guys can see my intro. People just dropped off as soon as that happened. So what does that tell me? I need to make a catchier intro. Or in fact, it could also mean taking out some content there. So for example, my actual, intro with the text, you would actually try to take that out so that people can, get straight to the content. Now, if you have a continuous segment, what you guys want to do is actually look at what you did there and try to recreate it on your other videos, because that's obviously a good thing. Because if you can keep people watching for a good amount of time, you guys obviously get more watch time, therefore your video will get boosted even more with the YouTube algorithm. And according to YouTube, in this video here, we actually experienced a spike, and this is also important. That means that people actually started watching more at this point. So what you guys want to do is actually go over to the part where the video spiked, and right here there's not much of a spike, but on some of your videos it could be a huge spike all the way up to here. And you guys want to see what exactly happened there. Is it because you put a timestamp and people just start clicking on it? Could be, right? And if that's the case, I guess that's your own doing, and you encourage people to actually skip part of your video. So in comparison, you guys can also see a different chart for another video on my channel. Now, there's something called dip. Now, what happens during a dip? Well, basically you did something wrong, or maybe you started talking about random crap and people just start clicking off. And usually this happens when you do an outro, when you say, alright guys, that is it, and then people start clicking off, and that is basically lost watch time. Now, obviously this video right here isn't looking too great with the chart. It's a overall decline, and compared to the previous chart, you guys can see very few people actually made it to the end of the video. Now the reasoning for this is, I'm assuming that's because a lot of you guys watching this channel, maybe not you guys specifically, but the overall community of this channel, the 1,200 of you guys on here, are here for foam farming videos, but I'm trying to expand into the YouTube growing / tips sector. So that's probably why I experience less audience interaction with these types of videos, but I'm still gonna make them because, well, first off, you guys hit 10 likes on the previous video, and second, I'm trying to get into this sector of videos, so you start somewhere. Next up, we have test what works. This ties into our previous tip. Now what does that mean? Well, you guys have this data now. You've looked and you've analyzed what is actually happening in your videos. So what are you going to do? Well, actually I suggest you guys write this out, and what you're going to do is actually test different aspects of your videos. So it could be anything really, guys. You're split testing right here, so you're comparing one thing with another and seeing which one performs better. For example, you guys could test out longer videos versus shorter videos. So if we go over to our own channel right here, you guys can see current music update and current music automation. Basically the same type of video, just it was an update, so I actually had to, well, update you guys. So if we go over to the analytics of the first one, you guys can see with a 3 minute and 30 second video, you guys only watched 1 minute and 42 seconds of the actual video. Now the chart itself isn't too crazy bad, but you guys can also see right here, I probably should have just ended the video right here, but I probably said something like, okay guys, and that is how you do this. So that was a 3 minute and 30 second video, and you guys responded with an average view duration of 1 minute and 42 seconds. Now going back over to our newer video on the same topic, you guys can see if we go ahead and hit the analytics, you guys can see the average view duration for an 8-minute video is 3 minutes and 25 seconds. And you guys can see right here, even though we only got 42% of the video watched on average, we actually got more watch time than the previous video, almost double actually. So what you guys are going to do is just put out content with different lengths of videos and see which ones perform better, and do that with other type of aspects. For example, thumbnails, test your thumbnail style and then choose the best one, and so on and so forth. Another example right here, 1 minute and 40 seconds video, that is, you guys only watch 49 seconds of it. So what I'm going to do is obviously not make shorter videos, because obviously more watch time means more promotion for the channel, and overall it's obviously better. Now that's what you guys would do if you actually have less than 1,000 subscribers, but once you actually get to 1,000 subscribers, you guys can actually go ahead and just ask your community directly, because you'll have this tab right here unlocked, unless you already do, which I have no idea why you would, but if you do, then lucky you. And you guys can see 6 days ago right here, I asked you guys how long should the videos be, so how long does my audience actually want to watch me for, pretty much. Now majority of you guys said more than 10 minutes, some of you guys said 30 minutes, and 17% said 8 minutes, and so on. So as you guys can see, majority of you guys actually want longer videos from me. So what I'm going to do is obviously listen to you guys, because those are the people that actually matter, guys. It's your audience, come on. So if you guys take anything from the last 2 tips, basically guys, listen to your audience. Those are the people that are telling you what they want and what they're actually going to watch. So what you're going to do, well, try to listen to them, because that's pretty important. Tip number 6, basically summing this up, write down all your testing, and once you've gotten your testing, which is basically your thumbnail style, the length of your videos, the type of content that you're actually putting out, and maybe even the way you're introducing yourself in your videos, and so on. Basically write down all the aspects and compare them with the opposites. Then put a check mark next to the one that works after you've made a few dozen videos. Then from there, what you're going to do is actually combine all the best aspects into one video. And if that's doing very well, what are you going to do? Well, obviously guys, keep it going. Tip number 7, just keep going guys. More content obviously helps. So once you've found what type of content actually helps, and obviously that comes with making content, make more of it. Think of it like this, every time you're making a video, you're throwing a dart at the dartboard, and the more darts you have, well, the more chances of hitting the bullseye. And yes guys, I can prove that that fact is true, because I tested it even though it was kind of unintentional. Basically guys, over the summer break I put out a bunch of videos on my channel, and it was literally like an every other day upload schedule. And from that, my channel did grow a lot from it. However guys, you can see right now we're only putting out maybe, you know, a video a week, because well, school's back. But yes guys, you will actually go ahead and get more traction if you put out more videos. It's just a simple fact. Make sure you guys are putting out good quality videos though, so you don't want to be spamming YouTube with just a bunch of, you know, crappy videos, but at the same time you don't need to make it totally perfect, because that one video that you've spent hours and hours working on might only get 2 views. And that brings me to tip number 8. If you guys continue to do that, you guys will no doubt hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Now with that being said, even though you might have that working formula, that thing that you guys are, you know, following, those aspects that you've just check marked and combined together, all the working aspects, even though you have those, there's always room for improvement. So what you guys want to do is, the last thing you want to do actually, is to limit your innovation. Keep it going, like just try out new things, test it out as well, and include it into your already so-called perfect conditions of a video, and maybe from that you guys will see extreme results. Like we don't know, maybe your watch time goes up double. So what does that look like? Well, you guys could try adding B-roll into your videos instead of just talking to the camera and just having the camera face you the entire time. That way you guys might get more watch time, because people are more, you know, interested in whatever you're filming rather than your face. I know, truth hurts. Experienced that firsthand. Anyways guys, I know you guys have a lot of work to do. You gotta get that 1,000 subscribers. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys all next Monday. Until then, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out for now.